We got announcements, we got acquisitions, and we got Pringles. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up, what up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, March 5th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. We actually have a video game launching this week, which is great. It Takes Two is the latest game from Hazelight Studios. This is Josef Fares' studio, the the Oscars guy from the VGAs the last 2 years. The previous title is A Way Out, another cooperative game. It Takes Two is also a cooperative game, kind of hinted at by the title of the game. Much like A Way Out, it's a cooperative game. This one will be less about prison and more about romance and a budding relationship. I watched the first 22 minutes of gameplay. I'll have a link down below about what it's about, but it's kind of going to be a fun, romantic rom-com kind of feel to it. So it starts off pretty hard, though. So it's all about kind of a kid's imagination and what relationships are like. So I think it looks pretty fun. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I played A Way Out with my wife, so I'm probably hoping to play this with her as well and see what it's all about. So loved it. Let me know what you think if you picked it up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. A new video game from Fox or 20th Century Studios, Aliens Fireteam. Now, this is a kind of 3-player Aliens Horde mode, kind of game. The latest Alien games, I think at least the graphics for this were a little dodgy. I thought there was a little dodgy. The kind of Swarm Aliens Horde mode seems a little bit weird too. I just thought some of the stuff around this game seemed a little off. But it was announced this week. It's coming summer of 21. Seems like there's a lot of co-op shooters that are going to be happening. We didn't quite see if it was first person or third person. They kept kind of showing the camera in stationary positions, but they had like grenade launchers and flamethrowers and all that kind of stuff just to deal with the xenomorphs. I'm looking forward to kind of shooting anytime I can shoot with 3 or 4 friends in a video game. I'm looking forward to playing it. So this one did look a little weird, and I think there's a lot of places that are kind of vying for the same spot. Rainbow Six Quarantine, the latest, what was the Dark Tide? I think the 40K kind of first-person cooperative shooter. So a lot of games, and this one's gonna kind of fall into that mix. And the Aliens franchise doesn't have a good background as far as recent games are concerned. So this one might fall to the wayside, but I'll get my hands on it and kind of make my opinion from there. I think the games industry for a while has been trying to chase the white whale that is the first-person horror test PT. So there's a new game that got announced this week. It's actually coming out in like 2 or 3 weeks, called Evil Inside, and it feels very shot for shot almost remake of like PT. You're walking down a hallway repeatedly. There's even like an upper banister balcony. So it is very much going for that PT vibe. I know there's been a lot of games that have been trying to go for that, and none of them have kind of been able to capture what was PT. I also think there might be a little bit of rose-tinted glasses as far as what PT was and how much hold it had over the games industry while it was available. But this new game coming out is trying to capture kind of some of that same feeling. It's called Evil Inside. I even typed it out as Evil Within because those words are interchangeable, and so I'm wondering if this one might get lost in the crowd as well. Also this week we got a gameplay trailer for Deathloop. I'm very much looking forward to it. It actually had kind of a fun tone that cut between kind of the creative director and kind of gameplay. And it just talked a little bit about the death loop, the actual loop of death that you're going through. They made sure not to say it's not a time loop. You die and the island gets reset. It talked a little bit more about the mission, about the protagonist mission to kill 8 targets in a single day, and that there's going to be a player working against you the whole time, and that you're gonna slowly learn more and more information about the island and how to get all the people in the same location so you can kind of knock them down. I thought this was kind of a really interesting, having just played the Outer Worlds, or no, sorry, after just playing the Outer Wilds, where knowledge was the way to unlock and progress. Like that was the way that you learned how to beat the game. This is kind of feeling like it's going to scratch the same itch. So while also being able to shoot bad guys and do, you know, Dishonored level of superpowers. So you're gonna have all that, but I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was really funny. So I'll have a link down below, and watch it and tell me what you think. Unfortunately, E3 has been canceled this year. The ESA has come out. I think a lot of people were kind of thinking that it was on the edge and probably not going to happen, but the ESA has finally come out and confirmed that there will be no E3 this year. It seems like a lot of the studios are going to be doing the same kind of things around the same time frame. I think Microsoft has already kind of talked about it. So it'll be, I think we will still get a bunch of summer showcases, whether or not they'll probably all be individually managed by the publishers. But we'll still have, it sucks not having them all kind of in one place and kind of, bookended and one specific time frame. So they'll kind of be all spread out like they were last summer, until potentially next year when we can actually get E3 back up and running. I don't know if later gaming events have been canceled yet, so we still might have Gamescom to look forward to. But yeah, I just think summer is definitely not a time when people are going to be congregating in large groups. So, but that does come at the cost of E3, one of my favorite events for the year. Epic is one step closer to being the hub of all battle royales by buying Mediatonic. They bought Mediatonic this week, the development studio behind Fall Guys and plenty of other titles. But Fall Guys being their latest hit. So I still love the term Bumble Royale, Fall Guys. So Epic and the Fortnite studio now owns Fall Guys. So maybe we'll get crossover stuff. Who knows? But it should be fun. And I think in the articles I was reading is Epic really plans to kind of let them kind of do their own thing and not mess with it at all. I think Mediatonic has a good thing with Fall Guys, and they don't need to kind of dive in and fix anything. Just let it keep running. And I think Fall Guys will continue to kind of rake it in. So, but yeah, that's one less free studio out there, all under the giant evil umbrella that is Epic Games. I say only half sarcastically. The Steam hardware survey came in this week as well. And with that came a lot of interesting factoids, one of which was the Oculus Quest 2 is now the preferred VR headset for Steam users, which is interesting. I think previously it was the first Oculus Quest. So Oculus is doing really good. I would assume that they would probably want them to be using their own store, but when you run out of those, you go to Steam to get more games on that. The article I read kind of led it as like Oculus Quest is the best thing out there, or is like the most sold headset out there. I don't know if that's quite true yet. I know roughly about how many PSVR headsets have been sold. And so I don't know if Oculus Quest has quite hit that number, probably due to supply constraints. But it was a really cool and interesting thing, and the Steam hardware survey always has really good factoids in it. The other thing I saw was like 50 million Steam users use controllers, just showing how easy it is to plug in controllers and how easy Steam makes it to kind of plug in a controller and just be able to use it. I have the Steam controller, which is hit or miss, but I'm still able to plug in like my Google Stadia controller or a couple other controllers, and Steam just kind of picks it up and runs with it, which shows that because it's so easy, people use a lot of controllers. So you can still get the controller feel while playing games on the PC. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, so I'll have a link down below that'll have a couple more Steam hardware survey factoids in it. So check that out. I'm always fascinated with all the technology that comes out of Razer. They make crazy stuff like toasters and just a bunch of other random crap. So I'm always surprised by the innovation and technology that they're coming out with. And the latest one I've been hearing a lot about, kind of techie glasses that have been coming out. And Razer is also on there. They are blue blocker glasses to block all the blue light, but they are also Bluetooth speakers. And I'm wondering if they do, I didn't quite know if it was just like speakers playing out of the side of your face, or if it's like a bone, conduction way of like listening to music. So, which would be pretty intense and pretty cool. So, yeah. And I guess with Bluetooth, you could potentially plug, if you have a Bluetooth, connection to your computer, you can potentially listen to games while you're wearing the blue blocker glasses. So Razer is definitely very interesting, and I'm always inspired. Inspired and excited by kind of the technology that they're messing with and doing stuff with. So yeah, I'll have a link down below in the description. Hood, Outlaws and Legends, or as most of you probably know, that one random Robin Hood game that you might or might not have heard of. I've been looking forward to this game for quite some time. I think it's still coming out in May of this year, but I'm not quite sure on that. But they're starting to release kind of character class trailers, and they kind of broke down the game again. And so for those of you who don't remember, the game is a like 4v4 team-based game where 4 players on each side are playing random classes, or are playing classes of like a brute or a ranger or a stealth or some other thing, and the goal is to get in, steal the treasure and get out. That's the Robin Hood aspect of it. But yeah, I think that's just like a really interesting combat mechanic of like PvPvE, because there's going to be environmental NPCs that you have to overcome, but there's also the PvP angle. Kind of like Deathloop too. So I think that the kind of PvPvE model is becoming bigger, and I think it's a really cool concept to try and get involved in. And so the latest gameplay trailer goes through the Ranger class, and that's your stealthy bow using kind of thief or Robin Hood character. They have a couple unique abilities like an explosive arrow and the ability to mark targets. So this definitely looked like the class I would want to play, being a big bow using fan in video games. But yeah, it gave me a little bit more of a sense of what each of the roles are going to be doing. I'd assume there's going to be a broody fighty class that just runs up and be able to tank a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I just think the game looks really interesting, and it hasn't I haven't really seen it as much, so I wanted to cast a spotlight on this. Last but certainly not least, like I said in the cold open, we have Pringles this week. So the Halo franchise is known for doing some pretty cool partnerships with food and beverages. Most notably the Orange Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel, I think was what it was called, which was one of my favorite Mountain Dew flavors. But this week they've announced a partnership with Pringles, and it's supposed to be like a burger flavor, but instead it tastes like ostrich, and I wouldn't know what that actually tastes like. But I think this is an abomination upon humanity, and I'm willing to try it. So yeah, I think Halo has done some pretty cool partnerships in the past, and this one really caught my eye. It also has like a turquoise kind of tube, which is definitely just kind of weirdly off-putting as well. But yeah, I'm willing to try these ostrich burger Pringles by Halo. So brought to you by Halo. So interested in seeing more and potentially getting my hands on some Halo Pringles. That's it for the week. That wraps it up. If there's anything you think I missed, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. so you can see more great content like this. Links down below in the description. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!